What is going on, you guys? Welcome to today's video. So I've had the Passat sitting out here in the sun for about an hour or so now, letting the metal get nice and warm because today we're doing some body work. Now when I say the word body work, I use that term very loosely because there'll be no Bondo, no sanding, no repainting, just simply trying to pop the current dents in the car out. We could go the route of getting a PDR guy, but there's a lot of dents in the side of this car and it's probably gonna cost me a lot, and honestly not really worth it. So I think with the few tools we have here, the fender roller, a hammer, I think we can get this side of the car decent. Not perfect, but better than what it's at right now. So let's take a look at the current state of the driver's side of the Passat. Our driver's side fender here, big old dent right there on top into this one as well. I'm not sure what they hit because it dented a lot of the car, but there's not a lot of paint missing. Normally when you hit the thing, it scrapes the paint really bad. The paint's still decent in these spots. It's got a big dent there and a big dent there. And it looks like it hit something pretty direct, like right in that corner, but really didn't tear up the paint. There's a little bit of a nick right there. But honestly, for as big as the dent is, it's really not that bad. So this one and this one, I think will be pretty easy. I'm gonna jack the car up, pull the wheel off, and get the fender roller up here behind this. And I think with the pressure of the fender roller rolling back and forth, this one and this one should pop out no problem, I think. There's also one in the corner right there, you can see, going by the door. And again, once the fender liner is down, I probably get to that side, probably just pop that forward. This one, that's a way more solid piece of metal right there. That one I might just leave alone, we'll see. Another one, that's a main one, this one right here, above the door handle, because the door handle, if you see, it likes to stick. It gives a nice little yank. So I think pulling the door card off, getting behind it, and popping this section forward, hopefully will ease this up a little bit. That way I don't have to yank quite so hard to open the door. Now aside from the front two up there, there's also this mess back here on the rear quarter. So all this is tucked in pretty far, and then this is just like bacon, like straight bacon down here. Now that side, I don't know I can do too much for that, but again up here, fender roller, I think you can see right here the line. This is where the bumper line should be. This is where the fender is at. So this should be to there. So with the fender roller, and again, heating this up, I'm gonna try and just like roll and pull this as far out as possible, and then, you know, it won't be perfect, but hopefully it's better. Fender roller installed and ready to go. Our fender is nice and hot. I don't know, I feel like this should work perfectly. That up behind there pushing forward, I feel like these should just pop right out, but we'll see. Moving. I'm working this this back one first just to see what happened. The big deep crease, probably can't get that out, but if I can get majority of the dent itself, the big dip out, I'll be happy with that. It looks like it's moving, at least the right side is. Hopefully the camera's in a good enough spot you actually see. Hey, look at that. I mean, it's not perfect, but like majority of the dent's out. I might try and work some of this deep crease in, but let me get to this one first and see if I can't push it out a little bit. I'm about to bring it down just a smidge. Yeah. Come on. Look at that. Alright, well, let me do a little bit more, but I mean, I don't know if you can tell on camera or not, but it's better than it was before. A lot better. Not perfect, but better. So we're not quite done with the driver's side fender just yet, but after a little bit of fender rolling, a little bit of hammer work, I think it's decent so far. I mean, the giant portion of the dent that was up here, this one and that one, are both gone. You can see this section where the crease is. I don't want to try and push it out too much. The paint started to crack just a little tiny bit there where it already cracked a bit. I don't want to push too hard on the big crease areas and have all the paint crack, because the paint on the fender, other than that, is still pretty decent, so I don't want to ruin that. It's still a little bit bacony, but for what it was to what it is now, definitely a lot better. Obviously you can still see it and it's right in the direct sun, but it's much better than the massive dents we had before. I'm gonna try and get this section here out a little bit more, and I'll work on this section, and then fender's pretty much done. Again, I'm not looking for perfection. I just wanted the massive dents out of it, which those are for the most part completely gone, which is nice. I'll try and smooth it out just a little bit, but It doesn't need to be perfect, just better. I'm gonna say the driver's side fender is done. Is it perfect? Not even close. I had a hammer and a fender roller and a pry bar because the one in the corner by the door is kind of hard to get to because the charcoal canister is in the way. But is it better than it was before? 100%. Let me show you. Let me show you. Not perfect, but I would say that's a lot better. A lot better. So you can still see it waves through here a little bit. Obviously, with what I have, I can't get it perfectly smooth, and you probably honestly need Bondo or like some sort of like nice metal roller to work this line back in and the line above right here. But I got majority of the second crease over here out of the way. This one's still pretty prominent, but that was the deeper of the two. But for what it was, to what it is now, well, not that bad. And then over here, got this bump back out, but the charcoal canister sits right here, so I actually had to use the pry bar to kind of very carefully pop it forward and not put more dents in it. But again, from what it was to what it is now, I think that's not bad. I can live with that. And again, in direct sunlight, you can kind of see the dents a bit more, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. This isn't a video to make this perfect, just better. I'm gonna go ahead and put this front section back together, put the car back on the ground, and we'll move on to our driver's side door. All right, so for the driver's side door here, I've never pulled apart, okay, hold on, that's another crap out of me, please shut up. No, 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 shh, thank you. That sound drives me insane. That's what I was saying. I've never pulled a Passat door card off before, but I assume it all looks like Mark IV stuff, so I'm assuming all of it comes out the same. This should pop straight up. 2 screws under there, probably some down here on the bottom, maybe some Torx bits I would assume, and then I'll pop it up and pop it forward. Now, like I said, we're gonna try and get this section here popped out, maybe this one right there, but this up in the corner, that section there, I don't think I'm gonna try and mess with that one. I have to probably pull, I don't think there's enough room to go from the back side. Oh, there might be. I might be able to hit from the back side straight forward, but we shall see about that one or not. Now, if this is the same as a Mark IV with those 3 out, the 2 at the bottom, we should be able to just pry the entire thing forward, just like pop off and lift up and over the lock, and I think we should be good. Now, there isn't a screw right here like the Mark IV. Oh, easy. Really easy. So this one doesn't have any clips on the side, it just kind of pops off. Pull that out. Okay, so door card came off, no problem. If you can pull off a Mark IV door card, you can do a Passat. They're virtually the exact same thing. Only thing I forgot about is that with these cars, this entire panel is like bolted up with the regulator itself, and I don't really want to pull this entire thing off. So I think I'm gonna try and do is squeeze my way through here, maybe my pry bar or like the hammer, the end of the hammer, and just push from through this hole and pop that dent out, and maybe the one over here if I can get to it. I don't really want to pull all of this off. It's not that big a concern. Like, I want the dent a little bit gone, but I don't know if I want to pull this entire thing. I'm not thinking so. So I'll see what I can do through here. If not, maybe the whole thing will come off, but I don't really want to do that. I think I got as much out of this portion of the door as I could. It's not perfect, but it's better. It's kind of hard to get exactly where I need to get with the pry bar going through a little hole. I could pull like the window out, pull the whole entire regulator all off, but I just really don't feel like it. If I had like a suction tool, if I can grab onto this dent here and pop it out better, this is definitely better than what it was. And again, on camera, like right in the sun, it kind of highlights the dents pretty well. But I will say the door itself opens much smoother now. So that's my main goal. Dent aside, the door opens much easier. I don't have to like yank the door anymore, so that's good. I might try this one here. I mean, you can see it goes in pretty far. If I do open the door though, I could potentially go from this angle through and like get a hammer behind it and try and bump it forward. We'll see. But at least the door itself, handle works a lot better, and most of the dent's gone. There's still a little bit on top I can't quite get to, and then one over here, which I thought I had it better than that, but it's hard to work from both sides of the door. I might try that one again. Listen, if any of you ever need a body guy, let me know. I get you right. Cheap, I get you right. Listen, she ain't perfect because I can't really do anything about the crease back here, but at least the front section, that lines up pretty nice for a hammer and extension. Not too bad. Again, if you're watching this video going, oh, there's still dents there, listen, I'm not going for perfection. If I wanted that, I would just buy a new fender, probably buy a new door, or take the whole car to a body shop, let them do the entire side and respray it. We're not going for that. I'm going for better, good enough, which I think that's good enough, you know? I'm happy with that. You know, honestly, I'm not really sure why I'm spending time fixing the dents on this car. I got it because it was dented up and it's the winter beater, so I wasn't supposed to care about it as much, but here I am fixing dents. But it is good I'm doing it this way because I spent a lot of money to actually make the car perfect. I'd be very upset because this, again, this is the designated winter beater. This car will see snow, it'll see icy roads. There's a good chance this car may end up in a ditch at some point, or if someone slides into this car and totals it out, I don't want to have all this money into paint and body work. We're just making it good enough. All right, so driver's side door is done, fender is done, and now on to arguably the most work needed section. Like I said, I'm gonna get the fender roll in there, and I'm just gonna, you can see how far in that back section right there is. Like, look how far this intersection is like caved in. So fender roller, I'm just gonna like pull as much as I possibly can out. Now I don't know what I can do for this corner down here. I'm gonna pull the fender liner out. I might be able to get behind that far up corner and just try to get a hammer and pop it forward. But as long as it's a little better than this, it is what it is. All right, my friends, let the fun begin. So the arch of the fender is slowly getting better. Not perfect, but at least it's not like 10 millimeters in anymore, so that's good. I had to get behind this section a bit more and try to hammer some more out, but you know, it's better than it was. Now over here, there was two screws. There was one here and one here. I went ahead and pulled both out. You can see back here, everything's just kind of trashed and broken. I'm gonna try and push this higher up and get it lined up better with the line here, and then put a new screw back in. And then after that, I think I'm gonna order some touch-up paint. If I can go through and all these spots, like this spot, that spot, all the spots are like scratched and there's like bare metal like this. I wanna go through and just paint match all these spots, paint match over the screws. That way you don't see it near as much. Like that spot on the door over there, and then up there by that corner as well. So I'm gonna order the paint pen for the car and then just go through and touch up all these spots. And then I think it'll look a lot better. But for right now, I'm gonna try and get this pushed up a little bit more and put a new screw through up here and then just line it a little bit better. So at this point, I think we're done. The rear fender, like the rear quarter area, a little bit more tricky to do. On the front fender, there's no like second piece of metal. It's just right behind the fender. On the rear of the car, there's the outer skin of the fender and then an inner skin, and you have to try and hit through both of them to pull the dents out. The fender roller was kind of working, but only kind of pushing the outer skin, like the bottom section, out, and I had to kind of bend it back in and try again. Mostly just hammer hitting really hard to try and bend both pieces of metal and push it out. It's not perfect, but which is a hammer, it's not bad. It's still very bacony towards the front, but this section here was in, like this lines up now between the door and the quarter here. This was probably 5 mil lower than the door. So somehow I managed to smack it hard enough that it lines back up. Again, still very wavy, but I mean, that's not bad. I realigned this screw a little bit, so this line where it was broken is much tighter through here and this one there, and then our body line's a bit better through there. And looking from the top side down, you can see just about lined up. Now this corner here is like bent in the middle, so it was really bent under here. I couldn't quite get it out. You can see right there, that little chunker there kind of goes in. I couldn't quite fix that. Overall, I'm very pleased with this. And again, once I have the paint pen to go through and get rid of all this bare metal spot, you'll see it even less. So at this point, I'm pleased with it. I mean, looking from here, it looks a lot better than it did. A a lot better than it did. You can still see them, but I say this is a big improvement. So as I'm putting the fender liner back in, we can actually see exactly how far we actually moved the fender out. And that's quite a bit of distance. You can see where the plastic fender liner actually molded itself to the new position after being hit. And that's a pretty good distance we moved the thing back out. I gave the car a quick wipe down, a little tire shine. You know what? Not too bad. And again, from, let's go back here. Solid 30 feet away. I mean, she's perfect. You can't even tell. I mean, you can kind of see that scratch, just kidding. Aside from that, from back here, mint. Like I said, if you need a bodywork guy, you let me know. I take care of you guys. But seriously though, I mean, it's really not that bad. For what it was to where it's at now, I'm really impressed. Could it be better? Of course. But for a quick afternoon and some fun, not too bad. So before I end this video, I just want to say one more time, don't take the bodywork on this car too seriously. We just had some fun, popped a few dents out. My door works much better now, and majority of the dents, still some bacon back there, but majority of the big dents are gone, and I think it looks a lot better. So again, don't take it too seriously, just some fun for today, and I think the car looks a lot better. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Do not forget, be thankful for every single day. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.